Today we're gonna learn operations on real numbers. Let's talk about real numbers first. There are rational numbers and irrational numbers. Together they form real numbers. Very, very real numbers. They are the OG of numbers. Okay? Every rational number has a numerator and a denominator. Or you can say one integer is divided by another integer. It includes positive numbers, negative numbers, you name it. But there are numbers that cannot be written as ratio of two integers. Those are irrational numbers. Examples would be square root of 2 or pi. Okay? Now, what do we mean by operations? I'm gonna go through this really quickly because I already made a video on operations. So there are 4 operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now we need to use these to manipulate what is given to us. Let's start with something really simple. Example number 1. I'm given -3 plus 17. So we have 2 types of numbers here, a negative number and a positive number. Okay, remember, when it comes to negative numbers, that negative sign belongs to that number. Never separate them. So it's useful when you're doing long mathematical expressions or when you're manipulating the numbers' positions. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. So I'm gonna manipulate and move 17 here and -3 here. So I can see what operation I'm gonna do. 17 minus 3 is 14. So that's our answer. Example number 2. -12 minus -6. So now try this on your own. Pause the video. Okay? So when there's 2 negative signs like this, it becomes plus. So we're gonna have -12 plus 6, which is gonna give us 6 minus 12. And the answer is -6. Example number 3. Let me explain this idea on the number line. Let's say we have this, -3 plus 2. Let's put these on the number line. Here's our -3, here's 0, and 2. -3 plus 2, this statement actually means this. Move 2 units up, starting at -3. So we move up 2 units, and we're gonna stop at -1, which is the answer to our statement. Example number 4. Now let's see what happens if we have this, 1 plus 3. I mean, it's quite easy, it's 4. But let's see what happens on the number line. Here's our 0 and 1. 1 plus 3 means start at 1, move 3 units up. So we're gonna stop at 4, and which is the answer. Example number 5. -70 multiplied by -3. So we have negative number multiplied by negative number. In this case, we're gonna get positive number. 210 is our answer. Let's see example number 6. 0 minus 9. Now try this one on your own. The answer is -9. Example number 7. We have -7 over 8 multiplied by 3 over 21. Before we do anything, let's simplify this for our next step. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So we can only do this when we are multiplying. When we're adding or subtracting, we cannot simplify like this. Okay? So let's rewrite this with our new numbers. And here we see that we can simplify those 3's. So we're gonna get negative 1 over 8. So don't forget the negative sign. That's really important. Now try this one on your own. Pause the video. Okay? So this actually can be written like this. 1 over 4 multiplied by 1 over 4. And our answer is gonna be 1 over 16. Example number 9. We're given 6.3 plus negative 20.5. And we know that 20.5 is more than 6.3, but it's a negative number. So at this point, we know that we're gonna have a negative number. So let's put it there so we don't forget. Now we can put 20.5 here and minus 6.3 here. So it's easier to do this operation. 5 minus 3 is going to be 2, and 0 minus 6. So that's impossible, so we're gonna get 1 from 2, so it's gonna be 10 minus 6, it's 4. Here we're gonna have 1, and let's put the dot there, and our answer is going to be negative 14.2. So that's our answer. Example number 10, this last one. We're given 4.5 multiplied by negative 1.2. So we can write 4.5. Let me put that step there so you can see. So that's what we have over there. So it's completely legal. I'm just writing it in a different way so we can do this step with factors. Now 4 can be written like this. So now we're doing this because we want the same denominator in order to add these two. So now it's legal too because 2 over 2 is equal to 1, and 1 multiplied by 4 is equal to 4. So we didn't really change anything, we just wrote it in a different way. So plus 1 over 2. So now we're gonna have 9 over 2 because 2 multiplied by 4 is 8, and plus 1 is 9 over 2. And we keep the 2 on the bottom always. We don't add those. But when we multiply those. So that's the difference. So let's work on a 1.2 on the other side. Let me erase that. And 1.2 can be written like this. So we're going to keep the negative sign. Let's put the bracket. It's going to be 1 plus 2 over 10. As you can see, we can simplify the 2 and 10. So it's going to be 1 over 5. So let's do that. Now here, we also need the same denominator in order to add. So let's put 1 in with the denominator 5, which is going to be 5 over 5. So it's going the same idea. We're just writing it in a different way so we can do our next step. So it's going to be 6 over 5. And don't forget the negative sign. Now, our last step is to multiply these two. Okay? So 9 over 2 is multiplied by negative 6.5. And when we multiply positive number to a negative number, we're going to have a negative number. But first, let's simplify that. It's going to be 1, and here it's going to be 3. So 3 multiplied by 9 is 27, and we have 5 here. And that's our answer. Thank you for another lovely day with AMAT. Practice on these problems on your own. Answer is gonna be posted on the next week's video, just like this. Remember, math is tough, but so are you. Goodbye.